Welcome back. Local artisans have a chance to not only showcase their talents but to benefit from their creativity in an upcoming expo. The intimate event is scheduled for Sunday the 13th of October and will be centered on the Creole Heritage Month as a theme. Coordinator Sharon Williams gives the details to Rochelle Gonzalez.
A long-time dream of local artisan Sharon Williams is set to come true this coming weekend when she hosts her first ever Creole Marketplace. The creator of Black Bottle Art said this venture, which focuses on Journée Creole, was a must for her, as she is fortunate enough to be friends with a number of local creative minds, whom she credits with being the masterminds behind small businesses and art pieces to move the hearts of art lovers.
It is the bringing together of local artisans so they can display, exhibit their Journée Creole art pieces. And, in time, I've always wanted to do this, even long before I was even into doing stuff myself, because I have a lot of friends who are artisans and artists and artistes. And, I realized that there was not much opportunity for them, especially around Journée Creole, because, we kind of have a last-minute culture. And you would see Journée Creole things coming out the week before, or maybe 2 weeks before. And it wouldn't give the producers enough time. Say you wanted a garment or something and you wanted to order, you wouldn't have time. So this whole thing was just a showcase to show off their work in advance.
Williams went on to name a few of the artists who will be featured in the upcoming event. She said since Sunday's event is the first ever, it will be held on a small scale.
Kind of like a private thing, because I'm having it at my home in the driveway on the lawn, and I invited my friends who are creatives to take part, and then I invited my friends as guests to come and have a look and to buy or to make orders, like I said. So I have people like Saturday's Dream, that's Shakira and Michelle, and they have lotions and potions. Beautiful things. I must let you, I bought one of the lotions, I must let you smell it. And I'm told that the things are very similar to what they have at Lush in the UK. Yeah, because a friend just saw it and said, and it just so happens she used to work with Lush. So it's that whole, not atmosphere, but anyway, that kind of work ethic that she has brought to Saturday's Dream. So we have that. We have Anitanja Loettes. Anitanja makes beautiful jewelry with common seeds, but it's done up very sophisticated with gold, with silver, and precious metals. That's among the things she has. She creates with beautiful river rocks that the artist has painted. Also, we'll be having canvases from her, so we have that as well.
Williams said she has hopes to turn the idea into an annual event.
Perhaps, maybe we'll do it again next year, depending on how good it goes. This is, y'all are my guinea pigs.
Bigger and better, though?
Of course, because I should think this is going to be successful. So my artist friends are going to be happy, so they want to take part, and then they're going to tell their other friends. So other people will join in, and we're going to have people who come and, oh, it was such a nice time, we had a good time, from my lips to God's ears. So please, God, all of this works out really nicely.
The event is scheduled to take place between 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the Upper Cicero community. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
The Caribbean Secondary Schools Drama Festival, which will run from the 3rd of November to the 9th in St. Lucia, was launched on Friday, the 11th of October. Prominent figures in the world of the arts and culture were present. Deputy Executive Director of the Cultural Development Foundation, Celeste Burton, says the island's continued support of theatre arts will allow for major growth within many critical creative outlets like music, dance, and decorative art. She says the launch of the Secondary School Drama Festival will create an atmosphere for social development among participating youth.
Especially for the secondary school age group of students, the social benefits of being involved in theater and taking part in theatrical productions is tremendous. And so CDF has, in the last 3 years, been moving towards and thrusting towards an increase in the number of theatrical presentations that we make annually. We have been putting on a number of plays, and we've been supporting other groups that seek to do the same. And so this opportunity to engage with events company and the Ministry of Education and, of course, the department to host this festival where we will be exposed to theatrical productions and training opportunities for our young students and for our teachers to encourage them to improve on the standard of productions that they have to offer the general public is indeed a proud moment for us.
The National Cultural Center will be used as the home of the Caribbean Festival. It will consist of workshops and evening performances by various participating countries. Deputy Director of Theatre Arts Schools Association, Shakira Roberts-Sankar, notes the benefits of networking on a regional level for secondary school students.
This opportunity allows our schools here and those across the region to network, collaborate, which we believe will strengthen and develop theatre immensely. We hope that all the stakeholders, the parents, teachers, the students, government officials, and of course the general public will come out to support our young people as they expose their talents and skills, both on stage and off. To see that theatre is more than just actors and actresses, costumes and props, but about skills that are transferable in all areas of life. And we are all expressive individuals born from an expressive, immersive culture. So what better way to showcase our rich identity through the start of using young minds, creative minds on stage.
Moreover, a welcomed partnership was forged with the initiative receiving support from Events St. Lucia. CEO of Events St. Lucia, Lorraine Sidoni, notes the alignment between the objectives of the Caribbean Secondary Schools Drama Festival and that of Events Company St. Lucia.
What I cannot quell, what I won't resist is my utmost respect, admiration, and love for the art form. And because of that, I'm extremely happy that the Events Company of St. Lucia has partnered with the Drama Association and the Department of Education, Innovation, Gender Relations and Sustainable Development, I got that right, to bring this 2019 Caribbean Secondary Schools Drama Festival to St. Lucia. In reviewing the mission, vision and objectives of the Drama Festival, I was actually quite pleasantly surprised to see that those objectives align very nicely with the objectives of the Events Company of St. Lucia. And though packaged differently, we both seek to build capacity through the exchange of entertainment, production, culture, and workshops. So again, one more reason for me to be happy that the alignment and the association between this drama festival and the Events Companies of St. Lucia is happening.
Other partners in the Caribbean Secondary School Drama Festival include the Folk Research Center, the National Youth Council, UNICEF, and Youth Spark. A 2-year pilot of the OECS REPLAS project is currently underway in St. Lucia and will focus on testing approaches and systems for establishing a plastic waste collection and recycling scheme through export from St. Lucia to Martinique. In a recent press briefing, Senior Project Manager for Unite Caribbean St. Lucia, Felix Finisterre, provided a more in-depth look at the OECS REPLAS project. Shaka Wooding tells us more.
In the summer of 2019, St. Lucia took a major step in the fight against plastic. The REPLAS project will see single-use plastic waste accumulated on island shipped to Martinique for recycling. In its pilot stage, this ambitious project seeks to highlight the importance of regional cooperation in conservation efforts. Senior Project Manager of Unite Caribbean St. Lucia, Felix Finisterre, says the success of this project heavily depends on public sensitization and cooperation.
The third part is a comprehensive public awareness campaign to support all of this. And the public awareness campaign we anticipate is going to have 3 major aspects to it, which is going to be the first one of broad-based environmental education, the circular economy, what are the benefits of recycling, etc., what are the negative impact of indiscriminate and improper disposal of waste. The second aspect of the public awareness is actually more functional. When are the depots going to work? Where they're going to be? How will the incentive scheme work? So more of an exchange of information. And the third piece is what we call action learning, when we're going to engage with communities, community groups, service clubs, schools, and so on. So they actually can do things on a periodic basis, on weekends, so have community cleanups, and count the amount of plastics which are there. So that is under our PR, and we would like to incentivize this and make some resources available to do this. That also can link back and have some kind of connection with, say, special events. So during Carnival, one would expect an inordinate amount of plastic waste, of bottles, of consumption. What can this project do, working with the relevant authority to do those kinds of cleanups and so on, Journée Creole, those kinds of activities. So we have some funds built into the project as part of it's under our public awareness and public education to do some of those activities.
The OECS Replast project, led by Unite Caribbean, kicked off in July 2019, following extensive consultation with environmental and development groups and policymakers. Finisterre says there will be heavy involvement of pre-existing local recycling agencies during the collection and export phase of the project.
The four essential major, what we call harvesters, recyclers, exporters, and so on, which is, what's your company called? Renew St. Lucia, which is Mr. Lynch and Mr. Lanfrey's Cherubin. Clean, what's it called? Recycling, C-L-E-N-E, Recycling, which is Mr. Frank Flood in Vifort. Drakali, which we all know, doing the pop-up depots. And Green the Caribbean, involving Mr. Wayne Neal.
The project will utilize the Cinrep plant in Martinique, which currently processes plastic materials from Martinique, French Guiana, and Guadeloupe, but is undersupplied, currently operating at just 25% of its capacity. Eager to maximize the plant's impact, Unite decided to spread its activities to other OECS member states, and Replast was born. Picked as a testing ground, St. Lucia will now undertake a 2-year pilot phase before the initiative is introduced to other OECS member states. Finisterre says other member states will be paying close attention to the execution for adjustment and replication.
But we have to glean whatever we learn, because the project is designed and intended to be an OECS pilot. So for the launch, we had invitees from 4 other OECS states who came and saw. One of our deliverables by the midpoint is the identification of 2 other islands in the OECS who are willing and able, with enough lessons from St. Lucia, so we can begin the process of replication. So whatever we do in this project, a key piece is to nail down our indicators very accurately, along with the OECS. They are the ones handling this, the OECS Commission, and then to see how we can replicate. We already have some indications of interest from some other countries, from some of the islands, but we have to work our way through.
Bottle collection is set to begin in December, and the first experimental shipment will be made in January 2020, followed by another shipment in spring. In the long term, the project is intended to become a routine part of the Eastern Caribbean waste management strategy. For Hot 7 News, I am Jacques Wooding.
The National Competitiveness and Productivity Council, NCPC, unveiled its week of activities for the 6th edition of the Productivity Awareness Week, which will run from the 14th to the 18th of October. The week also coincides with the 6th anniversary of the NCPC establishment on the 18th of October 2013. This year, Productivity Awareness Week focuses on the vital role research and innovation play to stimulate and drive competitiveness in St. Lucia. More in this report from Glenn Simon.
Productivity Awareness Week was created to build awareness of the issues related to productivity in St. Lucia, while increasing dialogue between public-private sector entities. The event is organized by the National Competitiveness and Productivity Council, NCPC. Director for the NCPC, Fiona Hinkson, indicated that the theme for this year's observance is embracing competitiveness through research and innovation.
for Productivity Awareness Week, we always say to the public, take this time to reflect on what you've been doing for the year. Have I been productive? What can I do differently? What can I incorporate into my business processes to make a difference? How can I motivate my staff in order to be more productive? Productivity is not only about the worker, it's also about the business owner. It's about everybody doing their part.
Productivity Awareness Week will be launched on Monday, October 14, and will feature a theatrical presentation produced and directed by Junior Frederick. An exhibition and health fair will also be staged on the grounds of the Finance Administrative Building in Point Seraphin. And the day will culminate with a television panel discussion on the topic, How do we achieve a more competitive St. Lucia? On October 14 to 15, the Research and Policy Unit in the Department of Finance will stage a research symposium under the theme, Research, a platform for innovation, competitiveness, and growth. Gemma Lafayette is the Director for Research and Policy.
So the areas of focus for this year's research symposium are on the real sector, more specifically agricultural production, also on the social sectors, looking at issues related to education, health and poverty, as well as environmental concerns, looking at the impact of climate change and natural disasters, and also on financial matters, also looking at some issues surrounding deposit growth, as well as electronic payment systems.
Resident representative for the ECCB in St. Lucia, Sharon Ferdinand, said the ECCB is happy to once again partner with the NCPC and will present the future of the EC currency, the digital EC dollar, on October 16th. She said the information is relevant to everyone, from the small to large business operation, the A-level student to the ordinary man on the street.
We are proud to present on the digital EC dollar. We want persons to know that this is not any way involved with the other digital currencies out there. It is just a different format of the EC dollar, offering another alternative for payment methods.
On October 17, the NCPC will host an open day for select businesses to utilize the NCPC's productivity measuring tool called the Pro Tool. It is expected that 12 businesses will participate in this exercise. The Department of Economic Planning has also partnered with the NCPC to stage the final event for Productivity Awareness Week on Friday, October 18. Stanza Deligny is the representative for the Department of Economic Planning.
Well, the final activity to commemorate Productivity Awareness Week is the Department of Economic Development's Exposition des Développements Économiques. So on the 18th of October, students will be educated by ministry officials on the 6 key areas for the medium-term development strategy, also how it links to sustainable development and our overall national development plan.
For more information on the activities for Productivity Awareness Week 2019, you can visit the NCPC's Facebook page by searching St. Lucia NCPC. For the National Competitiveness and Productivity Council, Glenn Simon reporting.
This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Tennyson Glasgow is up next with all the sporting action.